Hello, my name is Jack Kearns, and this is my Swiss chocolate case. Um, so first of all, we're going to do a pestle analysis on the chocolate industry. So as for the political um, aspect of the pestle analysis, there's poor quality of life for farmers. There was a controversy being stirred up around about this worldwide. People were kind of saying the people who are harvesting the inputs for chocolate were not being treated well, and they were living off very low wages. For the economic factor, demand for chocolate is very elastic, meaning that chocolate is something that most consumers could easily live without. So if the price for chocolate was rising, there would be significantly lower demand, and it would hurt the chocolate industry significantly. For the social aspect, um, there's been a rising interest in health in the past several decades. And black chocolate was kind of a way for people to still enjoy the sweetness of chocolate, but do so in a healthier way, in a way that promoted body health um, and body productivity. For the technological aspect, there's new technologies being developed, and for the first time in a long time, there was new technologies being introduced into the chocolate industry. Um, there's a whole list of these, but they basically were able to harvest it better, able to process it better and more efficiently. And as for the environmental factor, um, there was lax policies on deforestation in many countries around the world that drove production, but it also destroyed lots of forest land and was very detrimental to habitats of many animals. And these same laws allowed production to thrive in many countries. So as the five forces being applied to this industry, um, so developing countries, chocolate had first been more of a luxury item. People in developing countries really didn't have as much access to it, but around this time, developing countries started to grow more of a taste for chocolate. So the demand for chocolate was getting higher in developing countries, like countries in Africa, for example. The bargaining power of suppliers was low, because the suppliers were usually living in poverty. They didn't have a whole lot of power, and they kind of just were more or less forced to take the deals that they are available to take. Um, the bargaining power of the consumers, on the other hand, is quite high, because there's many different brands of chocolate competing against each other, and companies had to keep that in mind. Um, so there's two main rivals, um, Hershey and Mars, and they were kind of competing on the world stage for people's tastes. So those are the main two options that consumers could pick from, were these two giants, Hershey and Mars. So there was threat of substitutes. It's pretty easy to make chocolate, so a substitute could easily enter the market, but there's very high competition with these different brands. So around this time, consumers started kind of making choices between these mass-produced chocolates, these ones that you usually see like in the gas station and whatnot, and these artisanal brands. So there's like Swiss chocolate. It's more of an artisanal type of brand. Um, it's more they're not be able to produce at a high level like the big guys are, or maybe they're not able um, to keep their prices as low as the big guys are, but they're able to create an artisanal taste that some consumers really go for. And Swiss One is able to do that. It satisfies the finer tastes, and it really satisfies the people who are not looking for just another chocolate brand, but they're looking for something artisanal, something to satisfy that taste. All right, thank you.